All right, so the last section that we're going to talk about that has to do with chapter 2, which is the composition of matter. Okay, it's also about the chemistry of life, would be about water, solutions, as well as polarity. What you're looking at on this slide is you're actually looking at a water molecule. This is the oxygen. These are the two hydrogens that are attached to it. This is how it's bonded, which you'll learn about in chemistry. We call water a polar molecule because water has north and south poles. If we're talking about magnetivity, okay, or electromagnetism, I should say. So if you look, there's positive and there's negative charges, there's positive poles and there's negative poles. So when we talk about electromagnetism, we talk about polar solutions and we talk about nonpolar solutions. What you need to know as far as polar and nonpolar solutions is that solutions are polar, dissolve other solutions that are polar, solutions that are not polar, dissolve solutions that are not polar. So like dissolves like. Talks about hydrogen bonding in this chapter. A hydrogen bond is just a bond between a hydrogen atom and another atom due to the charge. So it's similar to an ionic bond, except it's with hydrogen, and they call it a hydrogen bond specifically. Some other vocabulary terms they talk about in this section for 2-3, cohesion as opposed to adhesion. Adhesion, the bottom one here, is the attractive force between two different substances. So right here, this is showing you adhesion because it's showing you how water kind of sticks to the side of the glassware here, or the side of the beaker. I guess not beaker, it's more like a graduated cylinder, right? But this is showing you adhesion because it's an attractive force between two different substances. This is showing you a different one, okay? Your meniscus muscle and capillaries. This is adhesion between the water that's inside of the graduated cylinder and the graduated cylinder. If you were to pour this water out, water would still cling or stick to the sides of it, right? That's showing you adhesion. Cohesion, on the other hand, is water's tendency to cling to itself, okay? So if these two water droplets moved really, really close together, they would kind of have this attractive force where they pull each other together into one big water droplet, right? So cohesion, water's tendency to cling to itself. Adhesion, water's tendency to cling to other things. This chapter, we talk about terms such as solutions as well as solutes and solvents, okay? A solution is when you have dissolved something in something else. So kind of like if you dissolve sugar in water, right? The solute is what dissolves, and the solvent is what does the dissolving. So if I have sugar, I have water, I combine them together, the water does the dissolving, right? So the water is the solvent. We call water the universal solvent because water is usually the solvent. If you have water and something else together, water is usually the one that does the dissolving, right? The solute, on the other hand, is what gets dissolved. So if I'm talking about sugar and water together, the sugar gets dissolved inside of the water. The sugar is therefore the solute since it gets dissolved. The water is the solvent since it does the dissolving. These two things together make up a solution. If I want to talk about the concentration, that's how much solute I have dissolved inside of the solvent. So the more sugar I put inside of the water, the higher the concentration will be. The less sugar I dissolve in the water, the lower the concentration will be. If I put too much sugar in it, I have a saturated solution, one that cannot hold any more solute at room temperature. If I was to increase the temperature to make it hotter, it would be able to dissolve more. But at the current temperature, if it cannot hold anymore, nothing more can dissolve and it sinks to the bottom, it's considered to be a saturated solution. Another term that they talk about in this section, aqueous solutions. This is any solution that we talk about in which water is the solvent. So if water is behaving as the solvent in the solution, it's referred to as an aqueous solution. So sugar water, for example, would be considered to be an aqueous solution. One of the last things they talk about in this section is acids and bases, okay? To know the difference between the two, here's a group of acids, here's a group of bases, okay? An acid has an extra H attached to the water, making the hydronium ion. So water, instead of being H2O, gets an extra H, it's H3O. That's how you know it's an acid. Okay, this is called the hydronium ion. Bases, you have more the presence of the hydroxide ion, OH. This is when it has one less H, right? We call this the presence of the hydroxide ion. So if you look at these, they all end in the word hydroxide, hydroxide ion. These are bases, NaOH, KOH, NH4OH. These are all bases, presence of the hydroxide ion. These, on the other hand, are all acids, right? They have that extra H at the beginning that we were talking about. They have the presence of the hydronium ion, H minus. One last definition in this chapter, buffers. Buffers are just natural substances that neutralize small amounts of acids or bases in living organisms. So sometimes if we don't want to deal with the fallout of small amounts of acids or bases in a living organism, so a weak acid or a weak base, we use what's called a buffer solution to neutralize that so that's not acidic or basic. Last slide on here is about pH. The pH scale is used to measure how acidic or how basic something is. The pH scale runs from 0 to 14. 7 is neutral on the pH scale. The closer you get to 0, the more acidic you are, or the more hydronium ions you have. 7 to 14 is the bases on the pH scale. The closer you get to 14, the more OH or hydroxide ions you have in the solution. So if you look on here, okay, things like what's close to a 7? Freshly distilled water, milk is a little acidic, blood is a little basic, okay? If I go closer to the top up here, stomach acid would be around a 2 also, lemon juice, battery acid, things that are more basic would be like ammonia, okay, bleach, those are bases. These two things cancel each other out as far as pH goes if you put acids and bases together. Don't do that at home, obviously, though. Okay? And that's it for 2.3. We'll be practicing this more via WebQuest.